So there's a new standard that's emerging for decision modeling called the Decision Model and Notation Standard. And it's designed very much as a parallel standard to the Business Process Model and Notation Standard. And the idea is to extract decision making from a process, and instead of wrapping it into the process model and creating complexity, to separate it out and model the decisions separately. And they can be reused across process, but also so you separate the concerns. You have the process and the decision, and they're separate models that can be linked, but you don't confuse one with the other. Now, the key elements of the decision model and notation standard are to model the decisions, to break down or decompose those decisions to identify their requirements, their dependencies on other decisions, and then to identify the input data, so you can see what data you need to bring into the decision-making context, and the knowledge sources. Where am I going to get the rules, the analytics that I need to make the decision and make it well, and model all of that so I can say, here's how I want this decision to be made, here's the information it needs, here are the pieces of that decision making. And if I model that separately, then not only do I get this clear and precise definition of decision making, but I get it outside my process context. That means I can reuse decisions in different contexts. I can have high-level decisions that might share common decisions about validation or eligibility. I can have events that trigger partial decisions, as well as the higher level ones that exist in my process models. And so I'm able to manage my different pieces, my event processing, my business processing, my decision processing, and have a model for each one, and yet still link them together into a coherent business architecture. The standard is due to be finalized next year. It's got a lot of support, and I think it's going to make a really significant difference to the practice of process analysis and process management over time.